2017 is set to be the biggest year yet for the BTRDA Clubmen's Rallycross Championship in association with Toyo tyres, and over 60 cars across 5 different categories have gathered for the first round at Blyton Park in Lincolnshire. Everything from classic Minis and Ford Escorts up to the minute Subarus and hot hatches will be in action today over the tough and bumpy Rallycross course at Blyton Park Driving Centre for the first of 7 rounds of the BTRDA Championship for 2017. Drivers from across the spectrum of UK and European Rallycross will be in action. A superb field of drivers of all abilities, budgets and levels will be in action today at this very open and competitive yet friendly series. We begin our action today with the Route Contracts Junior Rallycross A final. 6 cars out on track for a 5-lap race. 4 Suzuki Swifts, a Citroen C2, and in pole position a Seat Arosa, the unique Seat of Jaden Bennett. He won heats 1 and 2. Heat number 3 won by Tom Constantine, number 7, in the black and Dayglow orange Suzuki Swift. But it's Bennett who leads away into the first corner. Constantine in second place, and the black and green Suzuki Swift of Tom Middleton in third place. They head out onto the loose section of the Blyton Park circuit for the first time. Jaden Bennett, a newcomer to Junior Rallycross this season in the unique Seat Arosa. Basically a rebadged VW Lupo, of course. Heads out onto the rough section and over the jump. We'll see the more powerful cars later on probably get some air over that jump. As the junior rallycrossers, the 14 to 17-year-olds, our first A final of the day. 2 cars towards the back of the field, Laura Boak in the Citroen C2 and Ethan Rees, the red and white machines there at the back, qualified by finishing in the top 2 positions in the B final. First 4 pulling away here. Jaden Bennett leads as they complete the first lap by 0.8 of a second ahead of Tom Constantine, giving chase, closes up on the tarmac. It's close for 3rd and 4th as well between Tom Middleton and Morgan Root in the orange and black car. Bennett with some good straight line speed there down the tarmac into the left-hander, holding off Tom Constantine, who comes from a rallying family. His brother James not making it through to the A final today. He was eliminated in the B final. Jaden Bennett continues to lead up to this right-hand hairpin, using the handbrake there, rally style, through the blocks there. Then it's out round to the left and towards the jump for the second time. There's number 13, Ethan Rees, running a bit wide through the hairpin as Bennett continues to lead, pulling away slightly. That's little Seat certainly got the straight line speed over the Suzukis through the cones and back onto the tarmac, and through this long left-hander over the old runway here at Blyton Park. Constantine still second, Middleton holding 3rd, then it's Morgan Root in 4th place, further back Ethan Rees, and finally Laura Boak, who took the checkered flag in the B final but was penalised 10 seconds for corner cutting and was dropped to 2nd place. Morgan Root all over the back of Tom Middleton. Tom Constantine, who will be among the favourites for the MSA Junior Rallycross title this year as well, along with Tom Llewellyn, son of former British Rally champion David Llewellyn. To give back best here though to Jaden Bennett. Good stuff from the Seat Arosa pilot. Out onto the loose they go once again, down towards the hairpin. Using the handbrake again there to good effect, Jaden Bennett. Tom Constantine gets a slightly tighter exit there. He'll be on the wrong side for the next corner, the left-hander. A little bit of damage on the front of Morgan Root's car there in 4th place, so may have clipped a marker, or maybe even clipped the back of Tom Middleton somewhere along the line. As they head down into this long left-hander back on the tarmac once again. 2 laps to go this time. Bennett from Constantine. Still 3rd is Middleton. He's pulled away by a couple of car lengths from Morgan Root. Still Ethan Rees in 5th position, and Laura Boak is at the back. 1 second in it then for the lead as they start lap number 4 of this Route Contracts Junior Rallycross A final. Middleton and Root very close together there for 3rd and 4th. 2 leaders pulling away very slightly as they battle. Lifting a wheel there, Jaden Bennett through the first corner. Fastest lap that time through, a 1:08.969, so dipping below 1 minute 9 now. Over the last lap times, it's been fairly even between the 2 leaders. Middleton not closing up. He's having to deal with Morgan Roots, chasing for third place as they come over the bumps there and over the bigger jump, not getting any air off it. And Jaden Bennett, you can see that Arosa with the straight line speed advantage over the Suzukis. It's a slightly smaller, slightly lighter machine, and this is impressive from Jaden Bennett in his first BTRDA Clubman's round in association with Toyo tyres. He is heading for victory by the look of it. He comes round towards the start of his final lap. Bennett ahead of Constantine, still just over a second in it. Oil Purple Oil sponsored car of Tom Constantine there in second place. Jaden Bennett sponsored by 80 Motor Repairs and Grant Auto Services. Leads into the left-hander. It's off the tarmac and over the infield section. New fastest lap of the race that time through for Bennett, 108.575. Back onto the loose, down towards the right-hand hairpin. Through towards the jump once again. Constantine trying to close up. He seems to close up under braking, but the Seat just too quick in a straight line. Middleton still holding route for third place. Went a little bit deep into the hairpin that time. But Jaden Bennett heads for victory. Surely now nothing can stop him. Coming down towards the sweeper for the final time. Into the left he comes. Pulled away from Constantine on the straight there. It's going to be a win for the little Seat Arosa over the Suzuki Swifts. Down towards the final corner. There's the checkered flag. Jaden Bennett takes the win, the first A final of the year. Tom Constantine comes over in second place. And third will be, I think, Tom Middleton holding off Morgan Roots. Confirm the results then of our Roots Contracts Junior A final. Bennett the winner ahead of Constantine by 1.8 seconds. Middleton in third ahead of Roots, then Ethan Rees and Laura Boak further back in 5th and 6th places.
Jaden, that was an absolutely amazing win for the Junior A final there. Really entertaining race. Did you have him all the way from the start?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was very good. Just got him off the start basically, so just kept it around everywhere. So yeah, it's very good, thank you. Yeah, you
had a really good pace as well. By the time you'd done a couple of laps, you were well out in front. He just tried to catch you a couple of times, but you had him basically all the way. Well done, that was a really, really great race. Yeah. How are you feeling now you've got out the car?
Amazing, thank you, yeah. It's so hot, but yeah, thank you, it's brilliant.
Well done, well we'll see you in the next round, hopefully we'll see the same again.
Yeah, hopefully, thank you.
Onto a more powerful set of cars now. This is the Kartech Motorsport Production 4x4 A final. It was a hat-trick in the heats for number 35 Mike Manning, and the Welshman leads off here in his Subaru ahead of the similar machine of Paul Davis, number 11. In third place, the rare Nissan Pulsar GTIR of James Lyon, and Pete Ellis completing the 4 runners in this A final in his Subaru. Unfortunately, Liam Manning, the son of Mike, in his own Subaru Impreza, unable to start. His car broke down in the opening heat and he was out of the meeting. So 4 cars for the production 4x4 A final, much the most powerful cars we will see out here today, and Mike Manning going for a perfect score, 4 out of 4 in the sunset here at Blyton Park. The navy blue Subaru with the green trim leads the Paul Davis machine in the classic Subaru World Rally Team livery. White Nissan in third place. In the early 1990s, the Pulsar was a works rally car for Nissan. Mix of David Llewellyn and even Stig Blomqvist driving that machine at times. So the 2 Subarus lead the way then. Mike Manning and the 35 out in front, been racing and rallying and rallycrossing for many years. Very sideways there, the Subaru, as they come into the left-handed hairpin and across the runway out towards the loose section. Paul Davis giving chase in the livery that launched 1,000 replicas from Subaru owners in tribute to the late Colin McRae. Davis has a look on the inside at the hairpin there on the infield section, just can't quite get his nose down the inside of the 35 of Mike Manning. So everything from rallying to Eurocar over the years, the 1990s, the old space frame Ford Mondeo series, been a regular at his local venue of Pembrey in various classes. BTRDA Toyo Tyres Rallycross, Clubman's Rallycross Championship, making a few visits to Pembrey this year. 2 Subarus pulling clear now. James Lyon in third place, his Rallycross debutant Pete Ellis in 4th place in the black Subaru. He's wanted to race in Rallycross for many years, Pete, and ecstatic at the chance to finally have a go. 2 leaders running wide over the curbs there. Mike Manning leads the way. gear-shaped Subaru of Davis in second place. Looks like it may well be 4 out of 4, a perfect score for the experienced Welshman Mike Manning. Over the infield section, this is where Davis seems to be stronger under braking. Manning has got the power, able to pull away. James Lyon still in third place in that rare Nissan Pulsar. Very few of those about these days. Never really had the edge in world rallying back in the early 1990s. Of course, it was all about Subaru and Toyota at the top of world rallying once the Lancias of the late 80s had faded. Mitsubishi were in the ascendancy as well back in the early 90s. It's Manning that leads, starting the penultimate lap by just over a second. He's pulled clear by a few tenths of Paul Davis. James Lyon further back, some 7 seconds down in third place, and then Pete Ellis another 3 seconds back on the Nissan. This time, that time through a 1 minute 4.01 for Mike Manning. Taking it steady out in front. He's got the race under control. Paul Davis not threatening. James Lyon a couple of seconds a lap further back in third place in the Nissan. It's a shame we haven't got Liam Manning out here as well. Manning Jr. in his Subaru. He broke down in the opening heat and was out of the meeting. 1 lap to go after this. See the lead that Mike Manning is building up here over Paul Davis in number 11. Through the left-handed sweeper, across the runway, around to start their final lap. Pete Ellis, the newcomer, still going well in the black car in fourth place, just gaining knowledge all the time. Over 2 seconds in it now, so Mike Manning gaining over a second on that last lap as Davis runs wide over the dirt there. Mike Manning down into the left-hander. On the tarmac circuit, used for track days but not for race meetings, currently here at Blyton Park Driving Centre. Also auto grass and in the past stock car events have been held here. Mike Manning heading for victory in the Kartech Motorsport Production 4x4 Category A final. Over the bumps there, up over the rise. Not getting any air off the jump. Jump has been reprofiled in recent years here at Blyton. Some drivers were picking up suspension damage. So here they come then. It's going to be a 4th win of the day, 4 out of 4 for Mike Manning, a perfect score. Coming round towards the checkered flag. Subarus 1 and 2, and it's Mike Manning, maximum score here at Blyton today. Second place goes to Paul Davis. It will be James Lyon in the Nissan in third, and Pete Ellis will complete the finishers in his Subaru. James Lyon comes over in third place. Good stuff there from the Kartech Motorsport Production 4x4 category. Mike Manning taking the win by 2 seconds ahead of Paul Davis, James Lyon in third, and Pete Ellis further back, completing the 4 runners.
Mike, 4x4A final, what a win. How was that for you?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was nice to have a good few cars in the race. Shame my son broke down, but whatever. But yeah, it was good close racing. It was with Paul, and it was it was good to have a good few in it.
Yeah, Paul was hot on your tail there. We could see him a few times. Was just closing in, but he couldn't quite catch you.
Yeah, he was closing. I was a bit worried about him, but just kept my eye on the mirror. And yes, it was good. It was good. Thoroughly enjoyed.
Good stuff. Yeah, we definitely lost it since last year. 2016, you were pretty much in front for most of the races as well. So it's great to see that you're still out there in the lead. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you in Pembrey round 2.
Yes, we'll be at Pembrey, our local track. It's only like 15 mile away. But thoroughly enjoying this class. It's really good.
Great. Can't wait to see you there.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Our next race on the programme is the B final for the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire Historic category. The first 2 finishers here will go through to the A final. It's Ryan Stutchbury in the Peugeot 205 off the front of the grid, but a super start from the back by Darren Owen in the Mark II Escort, and he's challenging for the lead, the man who won the C final to qualify for this race, trying to go around the outside of Stutchbury there into the first corner. But long-time BTRDA competitor Ryan Stutchbury leads the way in his Peugeot 205. Darren Owen in his first ever rallycross, nearly 30 years, a short oval racer in bangers and hot rods, converting to rallycross this year in that beautiful Mark II Escort, up there in second place. Third is Shane Dutton in the VW Golf, and then we've got the Minis of Ian Clark and Mark Griffin. Mark Griffin, like he got sideways there into the hairpin. He'll be at the back as they come round on the first lap. Stutchbury leads from Darren Owen, Deadly Daz as he's known from his days in Bangor Racing, in an Escort that was originally built as a short oval car, painted in tribute to Mick Collard, aka Duffy, one of the great hot rod racers in UK history, who sadly passed away last year. Still Shane Dutton in the Golf, holding third place ahead of Ian Clark in the Mini, and we appear to have lost Mark Griffin on the first lap, the man who used to race a Mark 1 Fiesta in Rallycross. Good battle here with Ian Clark in the Mini, trying to get up alongside the Golf of Shane Dutton. Can't quite do so, had to go out onto the curbs there. That's this lap so far by Daz Owen, the winner of the C final. Ian Clark came through the C final as well. One non-starter in this race, the Mini clubman of Richard Todd. And Mark Griffin already out of the race in his Mini, so just 4 contenders left. Don't forget the first 2 finishers go through to the A final in this Steve Gaunt Trailers historic category for pre-1995 cars. Real variety, everything from the classic Mark II Escort up to 205s, Minis, BMW. Even cars as diverse as Vauxhall Calibras and Peugeot 106s have entered this category in recent times. So Ryan Stutchbury still leads, but Daz Owen all over the back of him in the Mark II Escort now. You wouldn't know he was in his first ever Rallycross. He's really challenging the experienced Rallycrosser Ryan Stutchbury here. But it looks like these two are going to go through as long as they keep it on the island, as they say, to the A final. Daz Owen throws the Escort in there into the left-hander. Nice to cut back in. Stutchbury with the quickest time that time around. They're well clear of Dutton and Clark, still battling the third place in the Golf and the Mini. The Mini having now got ahead of the Golf, so Ian Clark looks like he's going to win the Classic Mini category here today. Just looking at the entries for the A final, and no Minis have got through to the A final. As Owen a little bit sideways there as they go into the jump section. So Ian Clark will finish his top Classic Mini. Still your leader though of this B final is Ryan Stutchbury. Down into the left-hander comes the Peugeot. Darren Owen chasing hard in the Mark II Escort. Doing extremely well on his Rallycross debut. Just being kicked up there by Ian Clark in the Mini. Daz Owen tries again as they go into the left-hander there. As they start lap number 4. This 5-lap B final. Can the Escort out drag the Peugeot down onto the loose section? No, it can't. Escort's originally built for the classic hot rods formula on the short ovals by Darren Owen, Deadly Daz. There's another go as they come down towards the hairpin. It's the familiar green Peugeot of Stutchbury who holds the lead. Ian Clark still there in third place in his Mini. Shane Dutton has dropped back in the VW Golf Mark II. Over the jump they come, a lap and a half to go here at Blyton in this Steve Gaunt Trailers historic B final. As Owen took the win in the C final ahead of Ian Clark, Darren Clark in the Nissan Almera, and Helen Crooks in her Mini. Daz Owen out onto the dirt there on the outside of the sweeper, just got a bit out of shape. That's lost him a few car lengths. That could have handed the race to Ryan Stutchbury. First 2 still go through. The smoke there by the look of it from Ian Clark's Mini. He's safe in third. Daz Owen really throwing that rear-wheel drive Escort around. He'll come up against a couple more Escorts if he gets into the A final here. Those are Brian Hardman and reigning historic champion Sean Buckley. Daz Owen closing back up again on Ryan Stutchbury. He's recovered it. He's done the fastest lap of the race, despite that moment at the end of the lap, 106.258. Back on the rear bumper of the Peugeot, but again a bit over-exuberant with the throttle there as they came out of the hairpin. It's all a learning process for Darren today. Stutchbury's experience telling here as he continues to lead. Looks like he's heading for the win in this B final. Cracking entry of historic cars here today. Round the sweeper they come for the final time. Daz Owen closing right up. Can he snatch the win here around the final corner? I don't think he's going to. Stutchbury will move to the inside to cover. It is a win for the Peugeot of Ryan Stutchbury ahead of Darren Owen. Those two go through to the A final. Ian Clark in the Mini well back in third place. Great race there, the closest we've seen so far. Ryan Stutchbury the winner by a quarter of a second ahead of Darren Owen. Ian Clark will win the Classic Mini category with third in the B final, and Shane Dutton's Golf completes the 4 finishers. Mark Griffin was a retirement. Straight on to the A final for the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire historic category. In pole position it is the reigning champion Sean Buckley, the Welshman, with his Mark II Escort, and he leads the way down towards the first corner. Daz Owen, what a fantastic start from the back of the grid. One of the newcomers, he's up into second place ahead of Brian Hardman in the yellow Escort. The number 11 Fiesta of Michael Grant, who was on the front row of the grid, goes down into fourth, but Buckley is already away and clear. The man from near Prestatyn in North Wales. Like Daz Owen, a former Bangor racer, leads Brian Hardman in his Escort. Daz Owen up into third. The rear-wheel drive Escorts enjoying the advantage off the line, but Buckley is already away and gone, the defending BTRDA Clubman's historic champion. It's tough to see his Escort being caught from here. Brian Hardman up there in second place, and Daz Owen just carving his way straight through the grid up into third. It's Grant in the Fiesta in fourth place, and then the Stutchburys, Scott ahead of Ryan in their 2 identical green and white Peugeot 205s at the back of the field. They look identical, but Scott's in an MI16 spec 205, Ryan's is a GTI. Buckley already 3.5 seconds clear at the end of the first lap. His Escort switched to Rallycross when his local Bangor racing track in North Wales closed its doors. Raced all over the country in Bangors, favouring historic cars there too, including classic Jaguars and American machinery among others. His brother Dan is still racing Bangors on the short ovals. Kicking up the dust there, Sean Buckley, as he leads by a clear margin ahead of Brian Hardman. Scott Stutchbury's Peugeot starting to close up on the rest of the field there as well. So the leader goes over the jump, pulling away all the time, starting the defence of his title in style. Brian Hardman in second place. Scott Stutchbury has moved up into fourth ahead of Michael Grant. Will now go after Darren Owen, Deadly Daz, for third place in the blue and white Escort. It's Ford's 1, 2, 3, then Peugeot Ford, and Ryan Stutchbury in the other Peugeot at the back of the field. Sean Buckley leads it, then increasing his lead all the time. Pulled out 0.3 of a second over Brian Hardman on that last lap. Daz Owen in third place. Scott Stutchbury, Michael Grant, Ryan Stutchbury just over 9 seconds covers the field. There's Brian Hardman. Classic shape of the Mark II Escort. About every surviving Mark II Escort used in rallying or rallycross, it seems. There are a couple that race on these circuits, but they're mainly RS2000 versions. The Group Snoop's nose. Buckley leads it. Owen being caught now by Scott Stutchbury for third place in the Peugeot. Peugeots and the Fiesta front-wheel drive machines not quite as sharp off the line. There's Michael Grant in his Fiesta, and Ryan Stutchbury at the back, the winner of the B final. It's tricky to tell apart at a distance. Different coloured front grills, the only way you can really tell them. Scott in fourth, Ryan in sixth. Sean Buckley comes round to complete lap number 3. Let's see what his lead is this time through. It was 3.8 seconds last time over the line. It's now up to over 5 seconds. He's flying out in front, Sean Buckley. Darren Owen starting to harry Brian Hardman for second place, but he's got to be mindful that Scott Stutchbury is there behind him in the Peugeot 205. Darren Owen from Staffordshire. I know it was his first rallycross. He's riding superbly out there. Sean Buckley, the North Welshman, swings it through the hairpin. Much quicker than his opposition, you can see from the lap times there. And Scott Stutchbury now right up with Darren Owen for third place. 3 cars almost line astern for the second, third and fourth. Then Michael Grant's Fiesta fifth. Ryan Stutchbury not far behind either, so the field closing up in the closing stages of this A final for the Steve Gaunt Trailers historic category for pre-1995 cars. Wonderful field we've got as well. Scott Stutchbury almost on Daz Owen's bumper there as they came into the sweeper. Michael Grant closing up as well, started on the front row, couldn't match the Escorts for pace off the line. Into the last lap we go, the lead still at just over 5 seconds. For Sean Buckley ahead of Brian Hardman, so the gap has stabilised. Owen still there in third place. He was quickest on that last lap as well, so could catch Brian Hardman for second place here. And Not going to catch Sean Buckley though, the reigning BTRDA historic champion is heading for the A final victory. In the Escort, he won heats 1 and 3 today. Michael Grant in the Fiesta winning the other heat, with Sean Buckley taking 4th. The grid decided by each driver's 2 best scores, incidentally, out of the 3 heats, the grids for the finals. So Sean Buckley effectively with a perfect score from his 2 heat wins was able to drop his 4th place in heat 2. He's still well clear of Hardman. Looks like Darren Owen is just about holding back the threat of Scott Stutchbury in the Peugeot for 3rd place. It's going to be a Mark II Escort 1, 2, 3. Sean Buckley takes the win, perfect start to his title defence. 2nd place will go to Brian Hardman. Darren Owen is 3rd, and Scott Stutchbury 4th. Michael Grant will take 5th in the Fiesta, and Ryan Stutchbury completes the 6 finishers in our historic A final, sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire. Buckley the winner by 4.6 seconds in the end over Brian Hardman, and Darren Owen making it a Mark II Escort clean sweep.
Sean, that was a great historic A final. Were you out in front all the way there?
Yep, went from pole position, because obviously I qualified for that, and away I went, got a good start, so that's the main thing. Get on and then drive your own race.
Yeah, that's good. Was anyone hot on your tail around the track?
I see a couple of the other lads in the Escorts, but to be honest with you, I got a good getaway, so it was great.
So you just held the gap all the way around and just couldn't let anyone past you?
Yeah, just kept it going and then cruise round to the finish.
Let's hope we see more of that in Pembrey for round 2.
I hope so.
Good luck.
Thank you.
More action coming up here at Blyton Park after this short break.